Hey guys, it's time for this month's So You Like, my monthly recommendation series where I take a piece of media that I have enjoyed in the past month or so, spin out what you might have enjoyed about it, and then recommend some things that you might like if you, like me, enjoyed it. This month's piece of media is Hawkeye, the Disney Plus series that came out last month. It was really good, and everyone knows it at this point, and it just had a lot of stuff involving introducing a new character in the form of Kate Bishop. It really gave the spotlight to a character that had been in the background of the rest of the MCU thus far in the form of Clint, and it reintroduced a variety of stuff, including a lot of street level stuff in a lot of ways that hadn't been touched on in the MCU properly before. It had been touched on in the MCU Netflix stuff, which is also being reintroduced in here. The relationship between Kate and Clint is pivotal to this show, so really that's gonna be one of the things I definitely have spun out here a lot of. The first thing that I want to recommend to you based on Hawkeye is Hawkeye, the comic that this one was based on. Really based on. This one was much more inspired by this specific arc of Hawkeye as a comic than any other MCU property has had to the point where they literally use the visual style for the intro and outro and everything. Like they've done a lot more with it than any of the other MCU ones other than just basic plot. There's so much in this show that is cribbed directly from the comic. And the comic definitely needed more credit. The artist, they used his visual style, but he didn't get nearly enough credit in the show. So go and check out the actual run. It's great. The second thing that I want to recommend to you based on Hawkeye is Girl Power. Now this webcomic has a lot of similarities with Hawkeye in that it is based around a new superhero who is getting mentored by more established superheroes. In this case, more established is dubious, being as Girl Power is set basically very military. Superpowers have been around for a long time, but they're going public with superheroes as part of the military. And it's really interesting to see this playing out. The main character, Sydney, is very similar to Kate in that she's very overconfident and does get a bit flippant at times, and is just a fun character. Just both of them are really fun characters. So I think that, well, I definitely think that Sydney would very much appreciate being compared to Kate. Sydney's a massive nerd, a massive comic book nerd who owns a comic book store with her friend. The next thing that I want to recommend to you based on Hawkeye is The Rise of Io by Wesley Chu. Now this book, I read it pretty recently. There's a review going to be coming out on this channel soon about it, and pretty much Ella Patel, the main character of it, is quite similar in some ways to Kate Bishop. She's a little bit overconfident, she's kind of flippant at times, she's still getting into everything, and she ends up being taken effectively under the wing of a more experienced person in the sort of spy game, and it's interesting the sort of similarities you could put between the two. There's definitely a lot that works pretty well. The next thing that I want to recommend to you based on Hawkeye is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Not the first time I've recommended this. I really like Sanderson. He's a very good author. His books have got something for everyone in some way, shape or form, I think. So the main reason I wanted to talk about Warbreaker in regards to Hawkeye is it's all about the city in a lot of ways, but also the girls in it kind of have a similar sort of relationship with other people as Kate and Yelena do in some ways. It's interesting to sort of pull that out in a way. It's not maybe the most obvious thing, but it's certainly something that I'm aware of as there's some good sort of ideas to go with there. The last thing that I want to recommend to you based on Hawkeye is Pacific Rim, another one that I've done quite a bit in this sort of series. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because there's some similar dynamics between different characters in this. So, most notably, Stacker Pentecost and Charlie Hunnam's character, whose name I can't remember, that's disappointing, have a similar relationship to Clint and Kate in a lot of ways. There's also some slight stuff that you could get into with the fact that they're both kind of action-y, they're both very dynamic, and there's some really interesting sort of stuff going on there, and I think it's just good. It's just good. So those are my recommendations for you if you, like me, enjoyed Hawkeye. Let me know what you thought of them in the comments down below. I would love to know, so tell me down there. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you remember to like and share it and subscribe to my channel. Click on the thumbnails over there to see other videos by me. Click on the link in the description down below to join my Discord, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!